Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Jay and Hater Podcast.
Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Hey, it's good, man. This is the first episode of the beginning of the new year, man.
2022.
Hey, we made it, baby. We made it.
it.
It wasn't no apocalypse. Like, the world didn't collapse on
Not
itself.
yet. It's coming, though. I feel like it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, though.
But right now.
Dog, but Christmas was like 90 degrees.
It was like we were in Florida or something.
Yeah, man. I feel like I needed a barbecue or something.
But then it got cold right afterwards.
Yeah, boy.
Like,
hey, this thing for the freeze over again like it did last year.
man, we need a generator. We need to get that on Amazon real quick.
Thinking about that.
So, but yeah. No, Christmas is cool. New Year's is cool.
Yeah,
Hope
man.
everyone had a great New Year.
I hope it was good for everybody. And I just also wanted to tell you, I didn't tell you this on purpose, but we also officially hit over 10,000 downloads for the podcast.
Look at us. Y'all
So-
really look at us.
So as I always tell you, man, we usually say this at the end of the show, but I got to tell you at the top, because we hit that, man. Hey, we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for tuning in. Y'all really like us.
Hey, they really like us,
That's
man.
cute.
So we ain't gonna run out of here like Antonio Brown or nothing. We ain't gonna just quit in the middle of it or nothing, cause we love it too much.
So about your boy, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, man.
So what's going on?
Look, man, so he just took his pads off in the middle of the game.
So he
last
quit in
week.
the middle of the game.
Yeah, like he took his pads off, took his helmet, bundled it up, and threw his shirt, undershirt into the crowd, his headband. Like he was jumping in the end zone and waving at people, like, "Hey, how about this bitch?" And then the next thing you know,
He was after the bitch.
he was in front and took pictures of him like catching an Uber in front of the. He just like, yeah,
Oh,
nigga,
he
I'm
arranged
out.
the Uber and everything.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, I know a lot of people were joking because I haven't followed too much of it, but a lot of people were saying that he had a mental breakdown. Like, what was really going on?
So initially, when the coaches didn't come out, they was like, "Hey, we wanted him to play," and he was like, "I don't feel like it," and so we told him to leave.
Okay.
And they was like, "Well, if you're not gonna play, then there's no need for you to be here," and whatever. So he left. Apparently, so he's saying, quote to him, he was like, he's been hurt. True, he been hurt the last few weeks. He was like, "Man, my ankle was just hurt, man. I just can't go." And the coach was like, "Look, if you ain't gonna do it,
Get your ass out there.
and so he left, like, dog, I'm hurt. Like, if I could play, I'll play. And he's like, I'm not going to continue to play hurt when, they want me to.
Right, because then it could end up being something even worse. It
And
could get even more.
And that happened a lot. So a lot of people, the initial reaction was, they're going Antonio Brown clowning again because that's the, what do they call it? The stigma he have now.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Okay.
But a lot of people feel like there may be some mental health issues going on because of the way that he outbursts and the way that he just do it. Because you remember, the way that I don't know if you remember the way that he left, his original team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they paid him and then he just, I don't know, he went crazy.
Mm.
But I think it's because that nigga got hit. Because you remember, I don't know if you remember, he got a real nasty hit.
Yeah.
And that's when he
got recovered after that?
I ain't saying, I think that and the combination of the money kind of.
Okay.
I think that boy, I call him a boy, I don't mean to call him a boy.
He's
But
a man.
It's a man, he's 40. I mean, he ain't 40.
I was like, he 40? That's don't crack, y'all.
No, but I'm just saying, I think he really has some kind of mental, because the CTE, but I think he got some serious brain injury. Because the way that he just.
The outbursts and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they be messing with him too, but.
So he on the sick and shut-in list.
Yeah, boy. Because you remember he burnt his feet up doing that cryo?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he burnt his feet up. It was nasty. And then you remember he was fighting with the people of his helmet?
Yes, I do remember that. So we added him to the sick and shut-in. We're going to pray for him.
Dog.
So
I'm just saying.
Prayer warriors for Antonio Brown.
But also, he's come out since then. I know we making light of it, right?
Yeah.
But he's come out, with screenshots of where he told the coach, the day before, yo, I'm here getting treatment. My ankle is really messed up. And the coach is like, okay, yeah, just come and talk to me. And so he got the screenshots and he was like, look, man, I took the injections and all this stuff trying to play. He was like, and I just couldn't go. And I think he's starting, people starting to realize maybe there's something more to this. Because, a lot of people already kind of talk about where athletes, like they play hurt.
Like they're pressured to go ahead and play even though they're not fully recovered.
Or even
they even talk about it in movies and stuff.
Or even like mental health, like Simone Biles. So where she was like, yo, with my mental health, I just need to take a break, and people scrutinize it.
Right. Okay. So you think this is just another episode of that same series? But
to where it may be something mentally wrong with him, but people have been so making light of it or just using that as a weapon against him.
And it's like, no, this is serious.
And no matter what he does,
stigma.
He has that stigma.
Oh. So now what? Like,
I don't know. He's done. He's doing interviews.
So he's done playing, period. I know I saw some people saying that he was supposed to come to the Cowboys.
Nah, they just talking.
Okay.
I mean, the Bucs was like, hey, he's done. He was released. He can go play with anybody he wants. But trust me, I don't think nobody else is going to pick him up at this point.
You don't think nobody's going to pick him up?
Nah, he done.
Oh. Well, I mean, I hope he gets the mental peace that he needs.
I just hope he don't end up in prison.
Right. Don't end up in prison. If it is like something like a mental breakdown or anything like that, I hope he gets the help that he needs.
But I'm also glad that he's speaking up for himself instead of just letting everybody else say whatever they want to say.
Managers say whatever that.
Like he's like, nah, like, and then sharing screenshots. So I don't know, man.
There's multiple sides to the story. There's 3 sides: your side, the other person's side, and the truth.
Oh yeah, they do say that.
They do say that. So
what's on your mind? So talk to me. What's on your mind this week, baby?
I was inspired by an Instagram post because it's New Year. A lot of people like New Year, new me.
Oh yeah, boy, I'm new this year.
Things that they're wanting to change because the top of the year, it's like, okay, what do I want to do different, or what do I want to change or enhance my life with? And I came across an Instagram post. Shout out to Nidra Tawab again. I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry. But one item that she had on Instagram was, I hope you don't carry staying silent to keep the peace in 2022. And it's funny because a lot of times you have to wake up and choose violence. I mean, not necessarily violence, but where you need to speak up and speak out about things. And that is something that I'm slowly trying to acclimate myself into doing, is not just being quiet just so everything will be okay. Sometimes you have to shake the table. Sometimes you have to shake the room.
Yeah.
To get your point across.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I think I felt like I've been quiet on situations where I probably spoke up and I'm like, you know what? It's just probably better that I just...
Yeah, I don't even want to address that with a response. Sometimes you need to respond. You do.
But at what point do you feel like it's necessary for you to not keep the peace? You know what I mean? Like, at what point do you feel like you need to get to where you need to, like, you know what? I was going to stay silent, but here's my point. Here's my piece. And then either you can do what you want with it, or...
I feel like it has to do with the platform that you're using and, the scope of your audience, or who all is going to hear this information or form that type of perception of you.
Okay.
If it's to a point where it's like, you're talking to other birds about me, I don't care. But if you're talking to other people, and it's a clear, different story than what was happening, right, I'm going to speak my piece. Now, y'all can do whatever y'all want with that information, but you're going to get my side too.
Okay.
Not every action or deserves a response, but sometimes you do have to stand up and be like, no, it's not like this.
Because I know, speaking for me, like, I feel like I've stayed silent to not taint the image of someone else. Like, I'm just
trying to save them in the process.
I've took the burden, just to spare. I don't want to say their feelings. I guess that's pretty much what I was doing.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, and also I guess it kind of depends on who the person is. Because if it's someone where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything because I could definitely damage their reputation by saying what it is, and I don't want that to happen. But sometimes people bring it on themselves. And it's like, okay, either it's going to be you damage my reputation or I damage yours. Now, I don't necessarily have to go that far.
Right. But
if me telling the truth is damaging to your reputation, it's the truth. You can't argue with facts.
And I think that's what it is. Like, and that's why, like we've talked about before, where I've hated the saying, I'm telling my truth.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly that. It's your version of the truth, which don't necessarily mean it's the truth.
Right. Especially if other people could be potentially affected or involved.
Yeah.
I feel like you may have to say something. Like, for example, some people that know me closely know that I recently found out that my biological father is not who I thought it was. And my mother had a negative reaction to it. and she wanted to tell her story a different way. I couldn't stay silent with that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it affects me, and it is not the truth. And I usually would be like, no, I want to protect this person's reputation. I don't want to damage anything. But it's only damaging because they actually did those things. Yeah. So I'm not if me telling the truth is something that someone else may not want to hear, but it's still the truth, I'm going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Especially if they're lying.
Yeah.
And this is affecting multiple people who wouldn't even be involved in this situation if it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I ain't
exactly.
About that.
Exactly. So every now and then you have to speak up, and even then, it's not necessarily
especially when they loop a lot of extra people in.
Right. When they loop a lot of extra people in that don't even need to know this information. Because again, sometimes you just need to say something.
And that's kind of how I feel about like when I hear people. I guess maybe because I'm a father now. When I hear people like, man, growing up, man, my daddy was never around, or I never seen him. When that may not entirely be the complete truth.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's every case. I know it's a case by case situation, but I know as far as me to where I know I have told my children of my child that, hey, I'm going to be here on this day at a specific time. And then I get a phone call saying, hey, we ain't going to be here. And so I don't come, but they don't never leave the house. And then nobody ever relays the message to the child. And so now I look like the bad guy.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, but I never said anything because to me it's like, well, what do I say? How do you make it right?
Especially if they're younger. If the kids you're talking about like, what do you say to the kids? Like if they're like under the age of like 13, it's like, well, does it really matter? Because at the end of the day, they're going to believe whatever they want to believe. But I feel like situations like that, when the child gets older, they'll start putting two and two together.
You think so? But that's what I'm saying. But at what point, okay, so since we're just talking about it, so at what point do I get to tell like my story? Like, or can I like, okay, look, listen, I know this shit happened, but like this is from my perspective, this is the way this shit.
I feel like when you feel like they're mature enough to understand what you're talking about. That could be like 17, 18. There may be a situation come up where you talk about, you're just having a general conversation, and they may ask you, well, why weren't you here? That's kind of your way in to kind of be like, this is why. You know what I mean? So it may not necessarily be something that you bring up first, but if the conversation is started, then I will kind of take that as your way of being like, okay, well, this is what happened. And you can still do it without necessarily, again, it may sound like you're saying some damning information or damaging information about the mother, but if it's true, it's true.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you get to tell your truth. And then the child or whoever you're talking to at that time can make the decision if what you're saying, because, sometimes you'll hear somebody explain a reason and you'll be like, 2 + 2 is 4. And then that's what they gave me. Or if they can't, if it sounds way outlandish, they're gonna form their decision anyway.
And then maybe later they'll think about it and they'll be like, well, I mean, he did.
But you have your clear conscience that you said what you needed to say. It's up to them to decide if they want to believe it, but at least you can reconcile within yourself that, hey, I at least said it, got it out there. I can't make them believe me. All I can do is tell them the truth. Tell them my truth.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you think they relate to like friends? So, because some people don't really completely tell their friends the complete truth.
They don't. And my thing is, because I'm the type of friend where I feel like I can call bullshit. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there are some friends that they don't care. They're gonna be on your side no matter what you say. Well, I can't believe he didn't call me last night, even though you know that he works 24-hour shifts somewhere. So of course he didn't call. But at the end of the day, everyone's gonna form their own opinion anyways.
Do you think that's the sign of one of the truest friends that you have? Somebody that can come to you and tell you without a shadow of a doubt, like, yo, hey, you messing up. You messing up, or you hurt my feelings, or
yeah.
And I think that's a part of staying solid and keeping your peace. Like, do you think truer friends are the people that come to you and say that?
I feel like you don't need yes men in your life. You don't need someone that constantly co-signs on everything you do. Because I had the situation recently involving a friend and a birthday gift, and my thing is they spoke up and said something, and I would rather have that, because why would I want you to hold this animosity or have something
or that resentment,
or you have this one side of the story and you're feeling some kind of way? Why wouldn't you tell me that? If we're close, like we say we are, if we are best friends, if we're tight and can tell each other anything, I should be able to tell you, and you should be able to tell me if something is kind of bothering you, and in a respectful way, of course, if you can, in a respectful way. And then I should take that information, and if I really care about this relationship, friendship, whatever,
to maintain,
then I should be able to be given the chance to tell my side of the story, or at least be like, you know what, I did mess up,
or at least be heard,
and be like, thank you for telling me that. I don't feel this way because of this. Because a lot of times, a lot of situations are miscommunication.
Yes,
there's miscommunication. And that's either someone saying one thing and the other one misinterprets it, or there is no communication about it at all. So you're thinking everything is okay based on this information versus this person has this information. So a lot of the time it's just miscommunication. And as long as you talk things out, I found that I work better with talking things out. Even if someone is upset, or if I think they're upset with me, I at least acknowledge that I feel like there's some weird energy between us. Yeah. And I want to fix that because we're better than that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because everything's not going to be peachy all the time. If you have a best friend and y'all have never gotten into an argument, then I would almost question it. Because at some point you're going to disagree, or something will happen. And again, you have two different people's perspectives on the world. So there's going to be some dissonance at some point.
And this is going to be and compromise, I guess.
Right, and compromise. So yeah, that's how I feel.
I like that.
I see. That's therapy.
So how you feel that goes into like relationships, like keeping peace, like not saying something that's bothering you in a relationship to just maintain this image of happiness?
What I think is funny is that a lot of people, if they're having issues in their relationship, they'll say how they feel to their friends and don't say it to their partner.
Yeah, but you're supposed to understand. You're supposed to know.
You think your partner's supposed to read your mind, and that's not the case. And again, perspective. Yeah. I could be like, well, I can't believe that he didn't want to talk to me, or he didn't want to fill up on me when he came home from work. But in your mind, I work like a 12-hour shift. I have all this stuff going on. I'm actually really tired. I didn't get enough sleep last night, so I don't feel like doing anything tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Instead of me bitching to my girlfriends, like, I can't believe he didn't want to do this and this and that with me tonight. When I could have just been like, hey, how come you don't want to do this and this and that tonight? And you could be like, well, it's because I'm tired because A, B, C, and D. And I could be like, oh, okay, I understand. Go ahead and get your rest. You know, it's a simple conversation.
Oh, I don't like the way that you fold them towels.
Right. I always hate the way you folded them towels.
Bitch, let me show you the real way to fold towels.
Why haven't you said anything?
You want to fold? I ain't folding them, but I just want to let you know that I don't like the way that you fold them. Because I feel like I've done that in relationships too. To where.
Do you like the way I fold towels?
Oh yeah, I like them.
My little TikTok roll thing that I do?
Yeah, I like that. I just don't know how to fold them.
Yeah, you're not allowed to fold them.
I'm not allowed to fold them.
I kind of got the short end of the stick on that.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like I've done that in relationships to where like things have upset me and I didn't say nothing. I just let it eat at me and I let it fester. And then on some irrelevant shit, now I'm blowing up and I'm mad. Right. On some dumb shit. Because I'm really mad over some shit because you told me you don't like the way I said damn at the coffee table.
But it's funny though, because I do the same thing, but I also kind of have like a little internal conversation with myself. Like, okay, Jay, do you want to talk about it right now? Or are you a little too emotionally charged right now? Yeah, so do you need to kind of calm down? Sometimes I need to take a beat. Jessica, about 5 years ago, I'd have just went off immediately. Yeah. And probably would have said some things that I know I didn't mean, but I was just upset, so they came out. Now I think, okay, am I calm enough to have a real conversation about this to where I listen? Or am I so upset that I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm only going to listen to provide a response and a rebuttal and other examples of why this person ain't shit and I'm mad? Yeah. So that's another thing is knowing when to have that conversation. Of course, I'm not a fan of letting it.
I think that's big too, knowing when to have the conversation.
I feel like if it's something that's really bothering you and it's making you feel some type of way to where you're starting to look at the other person differently. Oh yeah. Definitely within 24 hours if you can help it. If you can help it within 24 hours. Because you definitely don't want to lose sleep or be again, hold that animosity. I'm over here leering at you, mad at you, and you over here just, thinking everything is okay.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. It's not, for me, and I can only speak for me. Yeah. It's to not go off on my initial reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I say because sometimes my initial reaction is to just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Is to just be quiet, just let the shit go. This shit is done in a couple of days, in a few hours, this shit's not going to matter. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a really big deal to me.
Right.
And I should say something, and I'll be like, okay, listen. Like, it didn't have the conversation with myself. Am I tripping?
Right.
Like, is this really a thing for me to really speak up enough to be upset about?
And then days will go by. And then by the time we're ready to talk about it,
I am really upset about this.
You know what? I'm mad.
I am really pissed off about this. And it's like a week later, and then they like...
It's too late to be mad about it. And then they looking at you like, well, if you really felt that bad about it, then why didn't you tell me something?
But you just said something.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to let anything fester because it's kind of like the little, like in movies, a little ball of snow or whatever, the little rock, whatever that's coming down the hill and then it turns into an avalanche.
Yeah. That's
kind of how it is. And then it's this big avalanche, this big, huge Indiana Jones ass, rock moving thing that's coming at you. And it's like, we didn't even have to go through all of that, girl.
Yeah.
So, and at the end, you're the one that's stressing out about it.
Yeah.
And now you're like, maybe I just won't say anything, and then you're holding on to it.
No, I'm not just saying, just every little dumbass thing, that get on the nerves just to just speak out and just be like, you know what? But I don't like the way that shirt match them shoes, and you a dumb bitch for wearing that shit.
With your mixed matching ass. No, but if it's to the point where it's starting to make you question your relationship or how you even fool with someone, and that in the back of your mind you're like, I thought we were better than that.
Yeah, I think if you have to question like, damn, I thought we was really better than that.
Then you need to have that conversation, because then by having a conversation, you will know if y'all are better than that.
Yeah, and also how they know you upset if you don't never say nothing.
Because literally there'll be times where we'll have small disagreements, and I'll be like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. I don't care about this.
Like, if an apology is what you want, and I mean,
my bad. I'm sorry.
I ain't saying don't give an empty apology.
Please don't.
Don't give empty apologies.
Please don't. Please don't. Because that's worse. I'd rather you just stick to it and say,
I said the bullshit.
Right. Don't give me a fake apology. Especially if I can detect.
But if they're truly your friends, then they're gonna value your opinion, regardless if you agree or not.
Right. Because we're here to kind of help each other grow. So if I tell people all the time, please fuck up. There have been times that, not many, but there have been times where, and I'm serious, but there have been times, but not many, but when those close to me be like, Jay, you fucking up, or hey, I just want to let you know you did this and that made me feel some type of way. I don't want to say that I cherish those moments because I'm not living to piss my friends off, but I like the fact that you want to let me know that something I did affected you. And again, we're better than that.
Yeah.
And it could be something that I didn't know that I was doing, I didn't pay attention to, or something slipped my mind. And to let me know that there's something I did that affected you because you know how I feel about you. Yeah. And I don't want to do anything to hurt this relationship that we have. So this is my opportunity to fix it.
So if you value a person, then you should really listen if they say, hey dog, what you did was kind of
right. But if it's a nobody who's saying something about you, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't even know. They don't even know me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
I just said don't give
certain people that just did. Certain people that if I find out they're gossiping about me or whatever, I'll be like, chill, I don't care. They talk about me. I don't even think about them. There's nothing to say because I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm not just to confront you about it because I really don't care about you like that.
I guess it's also getting to a point of not really caring of what people's view of
right. Is. Because like my mom used to say, they hated on Jesus. If they hated Jesus, I'm not for everybody, and that is okay.
That's okay.
I've learned that is okay. If whenever people say God remove people out of my life, if I'm one of the people they removed out of their life, that is okay. That's okay. I'm not for everybody.
That's what's up.
So
I like that. That's a good start at the top of the year.
It is.
Hey.
Take no fuck shit in 2022.
Don't do it.
There's already enough going on with Omarion and Corona and her.
They got Flo Rida now too.
Yeah, Flo Rida. I call it Flo Rida.
Or Florina.
Right. I'm not here for it.
So you got any petty words of wisdom?
I do. So short and sweet. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision.
Is it?
You can make a mistake and be like, shit, I know it's gonna turn out like that. But if you do it again, shit, I know it's gonna. How you know it's gonna turn out like that when you already did it before and you knew this was gonna happen? You decided to do that.
Like if you do the same thing and
over and over again, insanity. So if you give people certain opportunities, or if you notice that they keep making the same mistakes, they keep cheating, they keep
like
doing this.
Thompson?
Yes. Anyways, it's a decision that they're making to do. So if they're still making this fuck ass decision, then that lets you, and it's affecting you in a negative way, then that lets you know where you really stand with them, and they need to govern themselves accordingly, and so do you.
I mean, I guess so.
So yes, a mistake repeated more than once is a decision.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something that's real funny to me before we get out of here.
What?
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon is all of us.
Yeah, that girl. Hey, is it black people over there, the niggas over there?
And white people probably like, what does that mean? Y'all know what it means.
Hey, is it some of us over there, or the niggas over there?
That's just like how y'all say, is it us or is it like trailer trash? Niggas is the black version of trailer trash in white folk talk. I probably should shut up.
I'm just saying.
But
I mean, niggas ain't just like black people in general.
Niggas could just be niggas.
Just ignorant motherfuckers in general.
Anybody could be a nigga. Everybody can't say that.
He wasn't know if them Negroes or.
I loved it. All the clips that I saw of him, I loved it.
He was jigging too wet.
But who else? Andy Cohen was drunk.
Oh yeah,
as fuck too. That shit was funny.
We're
gonna do our own New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 10 people watching. I don't care. We'll just be sitting there and just talking about random shit.
But you know where you can watch us at? On www.jnader.com. Or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. They can find you on Instagram and where?
Jay just say.
Yeah, you can find your boy, Lord Hater.
And you can also find us streaming on your major streaming platforms. We're on Pandora now.
Yeah, boy, we're on Pandora. We're on YouTube. But yeah, make sure you if you just want to just look at our pretty faces, we're on YouTube.
Yes, and we have some good things coming for 2022. So definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, boy,
again, we always appreciate everyone that tunes into us every week. And you have any other news? Anything else?
Like I said, man, we hit 10,000. We always appreciate it, man.
10K.
Because you don't have to listen to that, so we appreciate it.
So, no other words?
Share the shit. Like if you know people,
share, like, subscribe, tell your barber, your friends, people you like, people you don't like. Maybe they can get some help.
Yeah,
but thank you all. And if you don't do anything else in 2022, always protect your peace. Bye, guys.